really hope people will go away and do something with it, because inspiration without action, at least in my view, is meaningless. I really hope there'll be some action combined with it. And the second thing is education. As I said, I feel like there's a lot of resources, especially business resources, that are very vague and motivational and just kind of encouraging people, to go for it. And I don't think that's bad. If you need to be motivated, that's great. But there's already a lot of motivated people, who are willing to take those next steps. And they're just like, show me, how to do it. Show me, case studies of other people who have done it. Give me some specific information. So as much as possible, with the $100 startup, I've tried to provide 300 pages of specific information and 300 pages of next steps and answers about how to launch a product and how do you price your product and how do you determine what could be a good product or service to begin with, and once things are going well, then how can you take that up a level, how can you diversify, all that kind of stuff for those who need it. And then the third and final thing that I hope will come with the project, I hope it will create a sense of urgency among those who read it. I hope it will create a sense of willingness to take action, not just at some point, but soon. A willingness to take not just some kind of action, but a specific kind of action, because we live in this beautiful, remarkable age where so much is possible, and we can come together in Sydney and talk about questions like how would we like to live our lives and what kind of work would we like to do, and I think it's great that we can do that, but it's also very unusual. It's very unique in world history. So when we think about things like microbusiness, it's good to say that microbusiness in many ways has always existed. Since the beginning of commerce, people have been buying and selling, kind of taking responsibility for themselves. I used to live in West Africa for about 4 years, and I could drive my Land Rover into the interior of Sierra Leone, and if you go into the village in West Africa, everyone is an entrepreneur. And everyone has a microbusiness in one way or another, because there essentially is no formal economy. And so everyone is buying and selling, everyone is kind of hustling and making their way. And that's great, but for the most part, if you live in the village in West Africa, you can pretty much only buy and sell with people in that village or in that community or that surrounding area. And that's changing in some ways, and hopefully it will continue to change. But for all of us, we can buy and sell with people who are not just in our village, but people who are, all over the world, and we can connect and collaborate based on things that don't have anything to do with traditional demographics, but based on things like shared ideals and shared values, and shared interests and shared worldview. And so I think that's fantastic and wonderful. I think it also carries a sense of responsibility with it. So I like something that Steve Jobs said before his death. He said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And as I've been working on this project, for the past 3 years, many of the stories, from the book, of these case studies, a couple of them that I mentioned tonight, as well as many of the people in our community, in my mind, those people are living testaments, to this ideal, to this belief that we can do something that we love, and we can, find a way to truly create value. And add value to the world. And value is one of those words in business that's often just kind of thrown out without any analysis. And when I use the word value, I think of value as simply helping people. And so I'm fortunate to know a lot of these people who are doing great things, many of whom are here tonight. And I hope that you go away not just feeling inspired, but I hope you go away feeling interested in taking action out of this experience. And as I said, the best thing about this time is not the space where I'm talking to you, but everyone else who came out. And I'm so glad you came to the Hilton, of all places, here in Sydney tonight. Thanks.